Welcome back to another episode of the Blitz Break here on a Friday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Phil Rasmussen, and we're back for another episode and joined today by our sales leader and resident Army hat rocking APM wearer Justin Ingolia. Appreciate you being here. Substituting in today for Mr. Howard.
I am substituting for Mr. Howard. Yeah.
I don't know
Justin
if you can bust the Texas accent out throughout the episode.
We can go like on the weekdays. I can go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll keep it a little homage to Buzz.
Just a little bit. That'd be great. And to my left, our resident social media and networking extraordinaire, industry veteran, Julie Shroyer. Welcome back, as always.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
It feels like it's actually been a decent amount of time since I last saw you.
Yeah, because I wasn't on the last episode, I don't think. Yeah,
that's
excited.
Well,
excited for our guest.
Yes. And today's guest, longtime real estate professional, top 25 in Tri-County, entrepreneur with a really cool backstory of things that he's done in his professional career prior to real estate that have shaped his performance. Father of three and husband, Aaron Ralls. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Man, it's good to have you. I'm excited for this.
Well, you guys are scraping the bottom of the barrel if you're calling me to get on here. What else did I have going on? I'm like, I think I can make it.
Yeah.
You know, I got to be honest. That's kind of my role. I'm the one. Self-deprecation is kind of where I go, but I love it, man. So I got to kick us off with I think the really interesting part of your journey. Obviously, real estate wasn't your first profession. You have a history with some things that are pretty cool. Obviously, being in the Department of Corrections and Barbershop, which I kind of find interesting with their current haircut, where the barbershop background came from. So
I had hair then.
I knew you when you had hair, man.
You used to have good black hair.
So maybe walk us through that journey of like your entrepreneurial background and those two careers that kind of prepared you and transitioned you to where you are today.
Well, since I was a kid, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to work in the Department of Corrections. I wanted to be in law enforcement in one form or the other, but specifically corrections, because I thought it would be so much more exciting than being a street cop. And it's pretty exciting.
It was.
Pretty violent. So I worked at 3 different prisons. Started when I was 22. Went 22 years old. I worked at Soledad Prison for 2 years. Then transferred to Solano for 2 years, and then New Folsom, which is a level 4. Kind of the worst of the worst. For the rest of the time there, and I promoted to sergeant with the Department of Corrections in I think 2005. Started in '97, and in 2008 got fired for 6 different counts of excessive force on inmates, 6 different inmates. And keep in mind, that sounds bad. Sounds bad, but it was a very violent environment. We work with killers, guys that don't get out of prison,
Yeah.
So it was a real rough environment. So I only say that to say, then I had to recreate myself, figure out what I was going to do. I have 3 kids. I've got a mortgage. So I was working several odd jobs, went to barber school because I always was into that kind of vibe too.
Yep.
Old cars, Harleys, traditional barbershop type thing. So while I'm doing these other things, I'm fighting my case with the Department of Corrections. And in 2012, in 2010, I ended up opening up Lucky's Barbershop and Men's Club in Folsom. Became the busiest barbershop in Sacramento County. We had 8 barbers, 7 days a week, and there'd be 2-3 hour waits almost every single day. So the barbershop was very good, lucrative, very fun. Where I first met Justin, I wasn't even thinking about real estate.
No, honestly, I was getting my haircut at the station next to you, and Aaron talks to everybody. Aaron knows everything about everything.
Yeah,
and
so you saw me like that. There's no angle.
And when he found out that I did loans, he's like, dude, tell me about real estate, because I'm thinking about getting into real estate. I think that's a good way for me to go. It's something different. And I was like, I'll tell you whatever you want. Let's go, man. Let's chat. And we did. We talked every time I got my haircut. It was always question. And he just got more information, met more and more people. And I think that's one of the coolest things about Aaron, not to kind of dote on you, but honestly, man, like, you are like Julie, you are a connection maker, because you've always been like that, and always been like, hey, and open to people, and You genuinely care
I
about
genuinely
people.
try to help everybody,
You
and,
do.
and there's even when there's nothing in it for me.
Yeah,
and that's
1000%.
I think that's the big disconnect with so many people in the real estate industry is everybody's looking what's in it for them. I just help everybody, no matter what's in it for them. My real estate meetings are open to everyone. Everyone except one title company at this point. But other than that, everyone else is open invite. Every lender open invite. My competitors, I don't look at them as competitors. I look at all of us as coworkers. So I'm real giving and really do try to help everybody. And that puts a lot of people off, or I'll meet them and they go, dude, you're so much different than what I thought. Maybe being heavily tattooed isn't, the best look for real estate, but
It's a free wall to throw up real quick.
I try to be a real nice guy and help everybody around me. I'd love to help everybody do more than me. I don't care about, that stuff. But in 2012, I won my case with the Department of Corrections. So I got 4 years of back pay, 7% interest, 4 years of service credit. And then I bought another 5 years service credit. So I retired when I hit 50 from corrections with a great pension. And it was, to me, it was like God removing me from a place where I was and where I should be. So it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Just didn't know it at the time.
Yeah.
So then the barbershop was busy, and I decided, I came home one day, I told my wife I'm going to get my real estate license. And my wife and I have been together since she was 15. I was 16, high school typewriting classes when we met. And so she kind of rolls her eyes like, oh gosh, here we go again. Like you were a sergeant just a couple years ago. Now you're a barber. Now this. But I just was thinking the whole time I'm in the barbershop, I know so many people and good with names. And we go out to restaurants or a grocery store anywhere in town. And my wife's always like, oh my gosh, do you have to make rounds everywhere we go and say hi? Because probably like Julie, I just know so many people, and I thought real estate would be a great way to capitalize on that. So I literally applied to get my real estate license that night, and then been off to the races ever since. I think I've been a real estate agent 11 or 12 years now. Yeah. And I was juggling the barbershop same time. So I was doing 15 homes a year while working 50 hours plus at the barbershop.
And you were still cutting hair, dude.
Cutting hair, phone, literally cutting hair. Like, hold on, man, working a deal while I'm doing it, and it just got to be where I started dropping days. Then I was down to Thursday, Friday, and then I was down to just Friday, because you feel bad, if I'm cutting Phil's hair every 2 weeks and Justin's every 2 weeks, like, hey man, like I'm not doing it anymore. So I had my Fridays were like 12-hour days trying to cut everybody. Like I'm only doing Fridays now. So I'd start at like 6 a.m. and work till 6 at night. And so it just got to be too much. And I was kind of stepping over $1 to pick up a dime.
Yeah.
And went all in with real estate.
I love it. I'm going to speak to your meetings because I go to a lot of meetings and yours is one of the best. And you're right. It has everybody in it, like affiliates, lenders, real estate agents, transaction coordinators. I mean, everyone's
and
in
they're
there.
not even my TCs.
No, they're not, which I was surprised.
So come on in.
And we've touched on that last episode or one before on abundance and a scarcity mindset. And that has kind of been my 2026 mantra, as I really am being, I'm surrounding myself with people that have an abundance mindset, like no matter what. Like even last night at the event, I took pictures of my competitors, right?
Yeah.
It was like, who cares? There's enough business for everybody.
Well, it's such a fickle industry.
Yes.
You guys might be working together next month.
You're right, next hour.
That's
Next month, maybe in 10 minutes. I mean, absolutely.
But it is funny how there's some people that are still, you know what I mean? Not that way. And so I'm just getting them out of my life now, really.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I kind of feel like you guys set me up because I had a quote that I found yesterday, and I knew that we were doing this today, and I was like, Julie's going to love this. Not even thinking, I was just going to give it to you either before or after. But you guys set it up. This is like the perfect segue for it. But it also makes me think, Aaron, and now, just reminding me of how you interact with people. The quote is, competition happens at the bottom. Those at the top collaborate.
Yep.
Love.
And I'm like, that's it. Like that is truly, competition is for the lower rung, the people that are all in it for ego, all of those things, the people that are in it for the right reasons, to do the right things, to better people's lives, to make impact on people's lives. They're open to collaboration. And I think, that is a defining characteristic I think you've always had too.
Well, I've always had in the back of my mind what my funeral will look like with my kids sitting in the front row and who's going to say what about me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hopefully it's just a line of people saying, dude, your dad changed my life. Your dad did this, and you guys didn't know it, but he did this for me, you know? So everything I do is like that. What's another deal, you know, another real estate deal? Or if I'm going up against, we interviewed several other agents. Oh, who'd you interview? So-and-so and so-and-so. I'm not going to talk bad about it. Oh, I've heard of him. Oh, okay. I know her. Yeah, they're good. They're, you know, so that's a bad look because that comes back around. Oh yeah, so-and-so said this about you. And I'm like, really?
Well, honestly, man, like if you think about it,
small community.
I don't want anyone at my funeral going, man, he was a killer loan officer. That's not an
who cares?
This guy was a bulldog as a real estate agent. No, man, I want it to be he impacted my life. He changed my life.
Yeah.
You know.
And back to the meetings, I've had a lender buddy of mine I've been buddies with 10 years, 15 years maybe, and he doesn't come to the meetings. To my meetings. He goes, why would I? It's just full of other lenders. And I'm thinking, that would be like me, Phil, hosting an event where there's going to be, what do you think the meetings have? 50 people?
Oh,
when
yeah.
We do them? 50 people that are going to be selling their homes. And I go, no, I don't want to go because there's going to be too many other agents there. I don't care how many agents are there. Put me in the room because my team's so big. Yeah. You know, not everybody's going to like Julie or Phil, but they might love you. And then you get a couple, and then Phil gets it. And then, you know, everybody wins and collaborates.
It just goes back to the point of like what you're saying, giving value comes with the idea without the expectation of something in return.
Yeah.
Inevitably, there is a return you get, which is that people recognize you're genuinely giving something of value without that expectation. It's very, very easy to spot the people that are doing it with an expectation of something in return versus those that are just doing it, you know, with the right mindset. I got to bring back just knowing your mindset and just the contrast being in corrections and looking at, you know, your own personality and kind of what that required of you and you know, what you went through. Is there a part of you that having gone through that experience and maybe feeling like that isn't, you know, that conflicted with the way you wanted to be and how that affected you mentally, emotionally, to be in and out of something like that? And did it change once you exited? Did you notice a change in just how you operated without having to be in an environment, like you said, with killers, with really difficult, or was that something you were prepared for and this was just kind of a transition phase?
Well, I felt like working that job, I mean, just thinking while I'm thinking about it, and I think of all the people I knew that I worked with that have killed themselves. You know, it's a really dark environment.
Constantly.
It's evil.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
an evil you can't. It's palpable. You know, sometimes, and what I've seen, and you know, it's a rough environment, and I think coming from that or being in that, if you don't have a strong spiritual connection, you know, like I'm a Christian, so it's kind of no big deal to me. It's easy for me to walk through evil, I feel, so to speak. But I think if you don't have that, it's real easy for it to penetrate. Yeah, being around that all day, and it literally is all day. Sometimes 16-hour shifts. You don't. It's paramilitary, so you might think you're getting off at 2 p.m. They're like, sorry, bud, we need you till 10.
Till 10.
Or 6 a.m. And you're like, oh man, you're literally stuck there. But I think because I was in that environment, when I see people stressing out, and I mean stressing out over real estate deals, I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Yeah. Oh, they're late on inspection removal. Like, it'll be fine. You know, I'm always, that's my mantra. My wife's like, you say everything's going to be fine. And I go, and here we are. Everything's fine. You know, my wife's always nervous about stuff. I'm like, where's that get you, babe? Like, everything will be fine. So I kind of just flow with it, and nothing really stresses me out too much.
Well, I'd imagine, you know, like you just touched on it, that, you know, we're all a product of an environment that we're around, and we affect our environment and our environment affects us. And being a father, being a husband, and trying to shed that and then come home versus moving into a social environment like running a barbershop and networking and then real estate. You know, you've been married well over 30 years at this point with kids.
26 married, 34 together.
34 together? Okay. 34 together.
I always tell her I raised her. Raised you. She don't like.
I met my wife in high school.
Oh yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah.
Yep.
So that transition and moving
class,
into
though.
real estate and opening up your schedule as well make a big difference in your ability just as a family man, as a father and husband to be available and you work like crazy. I'm sure the discipline of running your own business is a lot, but what you just described from the being in a corrections environment where you don't make your own schedule is also a different place. Did that help you?
I don't know. When my kids were little, I mean, I was the main soccer coach the whole time they played, baseball coach the whole time they played, went on the field trip. So my hours at the prison for the most part were 2 to 10 at night. So I could be there for a lot of the kid stuff. So I work more now than I did then, but it's different work.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a phone.
I mean, this is my uniform.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm a black t-shirt and Converse every day. So it's, yeah, I don't know. It's easier. It's more rewarding. That's for sure. I wake up excited to start my day as opposed to being like, oh man,
Here we go.
got to go in there.
Let me ask you this, because I think this is kind of the unique aspect of you went from something that was a consistent paycheck to not knowing where the
Good
next
question.
paycheck was coming from. That entrepreneurial mindset. Like, what do you think birthed that? What started that? Because that has to be there to begin with, and to have the ability to go, hey, we're going to do this and make it happen. You've done that twice. You've made that transition twice.
Yeah, it's good.
You know what I mean?
Much to my wife's dismay.
Yeah.
And that's a huge, I mean, when I opened the barbershop, I would make, our house is in foreclosure at this point because I hadn't won my case yet. How much money did you make today? $6.
Yeah.
$4 all day, 10-hour day, $4, $6. What do you mean? I'm like, I get free haircuts all day. Try to get people in, and we're connected to the bar, Folsom Lake Bowl. So my barbershop's in there, my old barbershop. I sold it to a friend of mine. I was like, lose $1, make a friend every day, free stuff. And then ended up getting busy enough to bring in another barber, and then another barber, then add another station. So when I sold it, I was making, a lot of people thought I was nuts, about 20 grand a month.
Yeah.
That's great.
Cash money too. It's different. 20 grand a month cash money is
That's like 40.
Yeah.
And it's fun. Like the hardest part of my day is turning down beers and shots because we're connected to a bar.
Right there. You're right next door.
So it's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
But had a blast. All my barbers, everybody I work with, we're all like homies,
Yeah.
cool dudes.
Yeah.
Super fun.
So I was in there yesterday. I pop in every week, say what's up to everybody, and keep that connection. And got 2 listings out of it not long ago because I popped in, and one of the guys, a guy named DJ, I hadn't seen in a while. He's like, dude, where you been? Hey, I got to sell my mom's house and my house. Literally listed right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
awesome.
great.
It's from popping in and knowing people, and people knew me from before in real estate, so they know like I'm not a slimy guy. I'm not a sales guy in the bad sense of the word. I am a sales guy, but just a genuine dude. But I love the thrill of the hunt. I love knowing that I only eat if I go out there and kill it, which is what with one of the title companies I got frustrated with, and some of the people I work with is I spend 7 days a week hunting and gathering money for people that I work with, whether it's the lenders, title reps, escrow officers, my TC, my, Finley Home Inspection, all these people, home warranty, all these people, I'm responsible for them getting paid, and I take it serious. So if I'm out hunting and gathering, and then, no offense, and I don't know how you do it, but if title people say, oh, we have a tool for you to run net sheets, I'm like, that ain't my... Can we cuss on this?
Yeah, why not?
Yes.
We can.
Well, there's a woman in the room.
It's happened before.
But it's not, that ain't my job to run a net sheet. You know what I mean? Like, that's just one more thing for me to screw up, for me to take the time to learn, another app on my phone. That's your job.
Yeah.
And literally, like, Julie, need a net sheet. Here's the address, purchase price, boom, boom. Let's go. Because I'm out, like, doing stuff, trying to get us all business. So I feel like the people around me, if they're not willing to work 7 days a week, they don't get my business.
Yeah, I like that.
Because I'm working 7 days a week.
100%.
And I'm making all these people money. And if you're working 7 days a week to send me deals, hey, got you another referral, got you another listing, another buyer, I'm doing whatever you want. I'm 7 days a week. I'm yours too,
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I operate.
I know, Aaron, I want to touch base on your cover at Real Producers. And I know.
So embarrassing.
I knew you were going to say that, but
Wait,
everyone.
the cover model that is Aaron Ralls.
It was so great. And it's an amazing cover. If you haven't seen it,
We looked for it because we had it here. We were going to have it for.
I'd love to have it here, but he's in a tank top and his sleeves are showing. It's just a very impactful cover. But that's not what I'm talking about. You are the top 25 in the Greater Sacramento region. That's all the counties. Top 25, which is very impressive.
Yeah, thanks.
What would you attribute that? How did you get to that level? I mean, people dream about that, but that is a big number to be in the top 25, and we have a lot of talent in Greater Sacramento.
Yeah. I do what I think a lot of the people that aren't in the upper, hundreds of the area. I study every day. I still study business, mental mindset, things like that every day. And I think a lot of people in our industry don't. You could line up, 100 real estate agents, and if you ask them what subject to financing means, I'll bet you 90 have no idea what it means. And, different things like that. You talk about a rate buy down. People throw around the terms, but they don't really understand, and they don't take the time to learn it. And I take the time to learn it. I want to be a master of my craft. Like, to me, Nick Sadik is the beast, like top of the top. You know what I mean? The way he carries himself, the way he's ran his business, operated, and I'm going to be on that level.
Yeah.
So I got to keep getting smarter.
So constantly
and sharper.
growing, constantly learning, bettering yourself. And I think you're right. That is like the top 1% are constantly bettering themselves. I learn stuff every day. Even social media, every day it changes every single day. So you always have to be learning and growing. And I just saw John Maxwell at Bayside. He came and spoke, and he really talked about, even at his age, I think he's almost 80.
Yeah, probably 80.
80. He's still growing and learning and never wants to retire, because he's like, why would I retire? I want to keep growing and learning and impacting. And I think impact is another powerful word, because you kind of touched on it a little bit. Like, it's not about, it used to be for me about winning, being number one. Right now it's more about like, how many people can I impact in a positive way?
Yeah.
So when we aren't here, our legacy like continues. Like, well, Julie did this and she helped me with this. And that's so much more impactful than I made this much money.
God's not going to say, congrats, Julie, you got
number one.
86 escrows.
No, I don't think they're
But he
like,
will say, you know what? You helped a lot of people along the way. Come on in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on in, girl.
Yeah.
So that's my thing. I want to make millionaires out of everyone around me. The problem that I find in real estate is I want it more for them than they do.
You literally just took the words right out of my mouth. Like that.
Yeah.
I find that what happens to me that I have to do is I have to, in the mornings, find my own inspiration consistently to keep me up when facing, I want it more for people than they do, because it can start if you don't pay attention to it, it can become deflating when you feel that sense. The real magic is when you want it for someone and they want it as bad or more, and you're able to like spark that.
Yeah.
But one of my rituals in the morning is always to find a couple quotes that just they just kind of spark that motivation. Like, I'm a big sports quote guy, or find something that just kickstarts my energy, and then from there. But you just said probably the truest statement of all. The hardest thing is to see somebody want to help them and watch them resist
knowing
it,
that they could kill it,
and then they just don't have the
they half-ass
desire.
it for a year, then they, so Justin's out of real estate now. Really? What's he doing? Oh, he's working at a dispensary. Like, literally, one of my guys did that after closing a couple deals, just because he didn't have the discipline to see it through and wasn't self-educating. Like, man, you gave up on your dreams. You gave up on a job where there is, I could decide right now and make $100,000 in the next 30 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one can stop you from
And
it.
it's like, you can't do that working a job, making 25, making $50 an hour. It's like the amount of money we can make is astronomical, considering anybody could do it. They just don't put the time into doing it. Yeah. It's crazy. And with the quotes and sports and everything, it's one of the guys I used to work with would always quote Kobe and this and that, and looked at the other agents as competitors and wanting to crush and this and that. I said, hey man, you're looking at it all wrong. The difference is Kobe played against people.
Yep.
We have to play with people. I got to pass the ball back and forth to Julie. She's got to pass it back to me. And the next week, maybe it's coming your way, you know? So if you're trying to crush everybody and she's got in the back of her mind, so-and-so's a jerk, now you're writing an offer on her property 4 months later. Good luck with it. You're writing an offer and I'm writing an offer. She's calling me. That's the other thing that doesn't get talked about in real estate is how many deals happen behind the scenes because of good relationships. Hey, Phil, one of the gals on my team just put an offer on your property. Where do we got to be? Like, bro, we got 6 offers. All right, where do we got to be? I'll owe you one. You guys got to come up $18,350. Okay. Still doing fiduciary for his client, still getting them more money. It's not like, you know, anything shady, but because of the relationship. And if I say, I owe you one, he knows I've got a book of business where I'll pay him back.
Pay him back, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that you just said another thing that nobody talks about. So, you know, all these events, and there's a lot of events, we know that. But
Grab assing, that's what I call it.
grab assing.
Grab assing, real estate.
But there is some value to it, because if you go to that event and you meet somebody that you've never known before, that's another agent, and you build a relationship with them, and there's 6 offers, and they're like, oh, Aaron was really cool. I resonated with Aaron.
Yeah.
He's a good agent. I'm telling you, it makes a difference, and I hear about
Huge.
all the time that nobody
but
talks
doesn't
about
get talked about.
ever.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about it.
Well, and I think even you sharing this and being candid, you know, in a situation like this where we should, you know, maybe be less candid at times, or it's encouraged to be less candid, it actually impacts people because they're hearing authenticity.
Yeah.
And authenticity always draws anyone in. You know, that's the best sales technique, is to be who you are and let people be attracted to that person. And that's where you're going to start establishing true relationships that grow, that build, and then actually become impactful for not only them, for you, for your clients and those around you. You know, that's what I think leading with is the authenticity. And that's what I think we try to do here. That's why we've done the same thing that you're doing, is we've been brand agnostic. We've had lenders on here.
Yeah, you guys just had Mike.
We did.
Last
Just
week.
had
And
Mike.
Albert.
And Albert.
And Albert.
But why not?
Prime example.
Exactly.
I mean,
You're not worried, oh, someone's going to see Albert and really like him, and we're not going
we
to get
wanna
any more
see-
business. Like,
We're building relationships. And this
Yeah.
right here, I mean, we all know, like, content creation and being authentic and getting out to the community is one of the things that we all have to figure out ways to do it. And, you know, being in an environment where you're helping people do that, I think is a great way to give a whole bunch of people who, you know, in our industries got into this before social media was a thing, and we have those of us that got into it when it was getting started. And so it's, to me, you know, it's a rewarding thing to connect with people who are all trying to do the same thing and
Similar
share
mindset,
ideas.
man.
And every one of these, I leave with some sort of an inspiration, some sort of a motivating, you know, piece of information, something that helps me grow. And, you know, you bring like-minded people into a room, good things happen, right? Like, good things come about. And I think your point that you just made too, that I think is, you know, really worth following up on, you approach it from the standpoint of a win-win scenario for people. And I think that's the difference between, like, the competing versus the collaboration, is someone doesn't have to lose for you to win.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you guys,
that's what I
you
was just
create
thinking,
win-wins. It's so everybody can win. If you can find that, that's where the most successful people are, not the you have to lose so I can win mindset. And you're literally just Taylor's describing it.
Yeah.
Another thing, at least in regards to how I'm running my business now too, is like, Julie, if I asked you if I have a team, what's your answer? Does Aaron Ralls run a team?
Does Aaron Ralls run a team?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a team.
Yeah, I would say the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay. So typically having a team means there's a team lead. I get a split, right?
Yep.
Do what I can to help grow and educate. Do you know, I refer to everyone as a team. I literally take 0 from them. No desk fees for the office. Nothing.
Wow.
Run the meetings, help them. In theory, they're all my competitors.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But it's neat because you've been there. You've seen the
Yeah.
meetings and
Yeah.
heard how it's done. But I don't make anything off them. Now, I do through EXP's revenue share.
Yeah.
So it benefit, but, you know, that's only a few grand a month per person or per year per person. But if you got enough people, that it really starts offsetting it. So that's the other thing. People hear my team, they think, oh, well, his stats is his team. No, that's not how it works. I'm not on my people's deals. it's legit. Like top 25 is my numbers. I also don't buy leads. It's all word of mouth referral or open house.
That's even more impressive.
Yeah.
So your top 25 is all you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and that's one of the things that this industry is, like so many things in life, business in general, right? It's all framed differently. So, you know, we see it a lot in the mortgage industry where big teams, someone's got these huge numbers and, you know, like they've got 22 loan officers
Call
that
it
are
the real
feeding it
estate
all.
shell game.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
all
It's
bullshit.
just like, you know, and you learn that, especially when you start recruiting and growing, and you start interacting with different models, and you start realizing, you know, it's all a sales pitch. It's all a perception. But, you know, at the end of the day, whatever you want to frame it as, if you're not genuinely helping people, whatever model it is usually fizzles out. But if you can consistently provide value, we talk about value a lot specifically here, because to me, it's the word that I think just whatever you're looking at, whether it's the client, your partners, your team, how can I contribute value to their day? Whether that's making things easier for them, making it more efficient, taking the things that they're not great at off their plate, helping them make more money, helping make the transaction or their plans in their life better. I mean, there's always something.
Yeah.
And people that obsess about understanding who they're dealing with and how they can add value is a far more productive way to go about than being, you can see the people, how do I make a sale? How do I pick up a commission? It becomes readily apparent.
Instantly.
You can just see it
I
in the
talk
person's
clients
behavior.
out of homes. Like if I'm showing you homes and you and your husband said, oh, we got to have a 3-car, and we find a house that's gorgeous, but it's a 2-car. Like, no. You guys both said 3 weeks ago, 3-car mandatory. This ain't the one. Let's keep looking. We're not going to settle. Talk myself out of deals all the time, but that bleeds through, you know, and then you get another referral. No, Justin, you can trust Aaron. He's solid. He's
It
cool.
does, yeah.
Yeah.
And it does. It creates not only the rapport, but it creates you're giving nonverbal communication on, I have your back. You're not just saying it, you're showing it.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
like if your AC's going out, you call an HVAC company, you're thinking, babe, we're going to replace this. It's 20 years old. He's like, bro, all we got to do is replace this fuse. Your fuse is going in and out. Give me $50.
Yep.
You're going to call that guy when it does go out.
100%.
You know?
that
That's a
right
great
there,
example.
I as a leader and as an individual over the years, I've had to try to help people understand this, that problems are what you're there for, and they're the gold. Like the chance for you to help somebody, save them money, not convert, like that's your chance to show your character, to show and to build trust, and to establish that when there is a need, or say like that I've already done things that are in your best interest. Like those don't come around all the time. It's hard to build a relationship with someone until you have an opportunity at points to show the true character.
Yeah.
And so I early on in my career, I would see loan officers talking with agents, and they'd be frustrated about problems coming up, and I'd be like, this is the gold. Like this is your chance to show, you know, who you are. And for me, whenever problems would come up, I'd go like, this is when I get to show you that everything I said to you, I meant.
I love figuring that stuff out too. Thinking out of the box, figuring it out.
Speaking of outside the box, we were talking about listing appointments, and something really cool that you do that's real outside of the box and involves a box is talk to me about moving boxes and listing appointments.
So oh, Phil missed this too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
heard
did.
this.
Oh,
I
you
heard
did?
this, and I'm this is awesome.
Yeah, so basically if I get a call to go on a listing appointment, Justin calls me and I don't know him, but was referred, because typically I'm referral based. Okay, what's your address? I'll run comps, email you ahead of time. Real nonchalant. I think I'll get into how people overthink listing appointments here soon too. But what I'll do is I'll log on with my marketing company and I'll order 20 moving boxes, packing material and packing tape. And all the boxes are branded with my wife and I's logo and info on the side. And that'll show up at your door like 10 days later. But I'll order it the week before. As soon as you tell me that you're interested in selling your home, and I won't cancel, even if you go, hey, man, we ended up using someone before. I'm not going to cancel the order and get my $122 back. That's what it cost me, $122. But 10 days from then, you'll get 20 moving boxes, and those are going to stay stacked in the garage or in the bedrooms for the showings, and just constant brand recognition. And
Brilliant
Notoriety.
idea.
It's brilliant, because you're right. No one's throwing those out. They are using those. They are packing those like that. And regardless, that is going to be what they put their stuff in to move. I think brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I get asked all the time. I was asked recently with one of the agents on my team, what do you do listing appointments? People way overthink that. What do you bring? This is what I bring. Literally, when I go on listing appointments, if I think about it, I do have a booklet that kind of explains my wife and I's story. It's like a photo book of our family. It's pretty cool and talks about my careers. And the other one is recently sold book of homes we've sold. Other than that, I just show up and talk about the property and the values and average days on market, things like that. But I'm able to show up without all the fluff because I studied at such a high level. I've tried to train ums out of my vocabulary, things like that, bro, whatever filler words I try to train out and try to be very smart on whatever I'm talking about in regards to selling the home. And I'm also brutally honest now. That was a hard part early on. Oh, Aaron, can you come by? What do we need to do? And, you're there with the lady who's decorated the house. You don't want to say everything. Now I'm like,
hasn't changed in 30 years. The
Julie,
decoration.
you got to get rid of all this clutter.
Yeah.
It looks great in here, but people want clean, open sight lines. When was the last time you're at an open house or a new home? Oh, just last week. You know how everything less is more. It's more open. We need to move this piece of furniture. That's got to go. That lamp's got to go. So I'm very, because people are kind of panicking. They're overwhelmed at that point.
Without question.
It's nice to say, this is what you need to do. Early on in basketball, they go, no. Put your foot back another half an inch. Try it that way. You want that.
Yes.
You want to be coached. And I think too many people are timid on that part of it. So
yeah, I agree with that.
You got to do that.
That's an element of I'm going to do what's best for you, even if it might mean that you don't want to work with me. Like that quote unquote lack of fear is really a representation of confidence. Like I know what I'm doing. I'm going to tell you what I think is best, and people pick up on that. And I'm sure if you run into the client that doesn't want to hear that and gets offended, you're in advance finding out about one that's probably going to be a challenge to sell to begin with, and you're saving yourself a headache.
Yeah. And I would say, look, my job is to get you as much money as humanly possible. I've got painters that will come in, paint the whole house if I need it, allow them to pay out of escrow just for my people, CertaPro painters. I've got a flooring guy that'll do the same. So things like that can really up it. Because a lot of times people don't have $15,000 to put into a home before you sell it. And then I say, look, anything I'm going to ask you to spend $1 on, you're going to get $2 back. These dark brown walls, mauve walls from the 80s that haven't been painted yet. Like everybody, I go
painted.
I said, like, it looks great. It's just not what people want now. We need to go white, and off-white. So if you can do that, you're better off.
Yeah.
That's it's a good tee-up question to me. When you first got in and you look at what you're doing now, what mistakes or what lessons did you learn the hard way early in your career that you think are worth sharing?
Like a couple key things. Make any hard decision right away, which includes firing clients. I've done that.
Sure.
A lot of weirdos out there. And then I've also, because I was a newer agent, I would allow the other agent to kind of steer the deal, thinking, surely Julie knows what she's doing more than me because I've only been doing this a year or 6 months. But that's not the case. Kind of like I would think back now to barbering. There are a lot of old barbers that can't do a skin fade or don't know how to line up or don't know how to cut a black dude's hair. Like, I know how to do it all, because I learned how to do it all and I'm good at it. So just because someone's been doing it longer doesn't mean they know what they're doing. Because as we all know, you can be in the industry 30 years. You might only sell 2 homes a year.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of that going on. So make the hard decisions early and quickly. In the barbershop, I'd say hire slow, fire fast. So those type of calls, or if a deal's falling apart, make that call right away. And then I control the deal now because I do know what I'm doing. And my TC is a stud. She's excellent. So she knows what she's doing. She was a senior escrow officer for 20-something years. So she knows better than probably any broker that's out there. So I have good team around me that helps also. I'm trying to think what else. I also, when deals fall apart, I'll give $1,000 of my commission. I don't care. I'm protecting your check, their check, her check. If if I'm making 18 grand on a deal, I'm certainly not going to let a deal fall apart over a grand. I promise you that.
Right.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
So I think too many agents get real greedy when it comes to that part of it. There was something else. Oh, lack of education and knowing how to do things. That's why I try to get my people to show up at not just my meetings, but any sort of training going on, which, by the way, it's crazy because the only public facing for agent training is my company, eXp Realty, specifically Brent Gove, and us putting them on in Town Center. And otherwise, I don't see any education out there.
Yeah, and those are great.
They're great and they're free.
They're
he
great.
literally pays for that out of his own pocket.
Oh, I know. Those speakers charge a lot. I know.
And it's free. And sometimes the lack of attendance is mind-blowing. You guys should go. You're going to be blown away with lunch and everything else. So I think it's very important to continue to educate and network as much as you can. But one of the young guys on my team didn't call me. He's only done a couple deals. And there was a 2-week rent back that was needed on a deal, which the sellers wanted X amount per day. The buyers only wanted to give X amount a day, whatever. But it basically boiled down to a $1,200 total difference.
Oh.
Were you at the meeting when I talked about it?
Yes, I was.
$1,200 total difference. The agent was going to make, I believe, $37,000. Didn't know he could give $1,200.
Yeah. Let me take care of that.
They're like, I would have said, bro, pay for all of it.
Yeah.
You know, here, take $3,000.
Yeah.
Lost the whole deal.
Yep.
By the time I found out about it, I felt like I'd been kicked in the stomach. Call him back. I go, you need to call right now. Say you'll pay that difference. You don't lose the deal over that. It's also crazy that even the other agent didn't offer, hey, you want to split this?
Yeah.
Right.
Close the deal.
Absolutely.
And, things like that. But a lot of people don't know. I had another deal. I'm think out of the box on everything. I look at what the real estate industry does and then just push it out of the way and try to recreate it and think out of the box my own way. Like I had one not long ago, a friend of mine's mother passed away. Him and his brother were the trustees for the home. I had a client, I just sold her home in Land Park. She had $500,000 cash and she didn't want to take out a loan. So we were stuck right there because the brothers wanted $550,000. One of them specifically $550,000 or nothing. We hadn't hit the market. That's the other thing. A lot of what I do is off market. Only the stats online. We do so much in the investment side of things too. But what I said is, well, how about if we had a lien against the property for $50,000? What do you mean? Well, if she ever refinances, pulls a HELOC or sells, you guys each get a check for $25,000. He's like, let me call my brother. Called his brother, explained it. Okay. She refied 4 months ago. He called me. Hey, I got a check for $25,000. Think out of the box. Not everything has to be a certain way.
Yeah.
Or why don't you guys owner carry that extra $50,000?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Going back to those
Find a way.
meetings, which typically they'll present at PCAR the day before they present in El Dorado County with Renee's, right? With
Yep.
Renee.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, those are I've learned so much from those speakers. I mean,
crazy.
they are like world class, like top 1% luxury agent in Las Vegas spoke. And then Krista, she's huge on TikTok, like massive, and Instagram. And she brought so much value. So if you haven't heard of those, I'll tell you, they're amazing.
And they're open to everybody.
And
Or
they're
if you ever
free.
want to sponsor, you can
They're free.
sponsor. Albert sponsors
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
because he sees that there is such a lack in that. And I've had managing the managers, I guess, for the different real estate offices around here always call me about stuff. Hey, how do you explain this? We're doing training. I'm like, it was Mike Reynolds when he was over at Realty One.
Oh, yeah.
I go, Mike, I'll come in. I'll talk. We don't even have to say where I'm at. If I can help, I'm in. Just tell me what day. No, they won't let you come in.
Oh, yeah, I know.
What a lack.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
It's wild. Yeah.
It'd be like if Albert or Mike had some crazy loan thing like, oh, we got to show you guys this. You're going to say no?
No, yeah, tell me.
Like,
I need to know.
It's insane. And if someone leaves to go to wherever, let them leave. You know, if I welcome anybody to come talk in my office.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's hard trying to think of what to talk about every other week.
I know, but you do a
for
good
that
job
question.
of it. He always brings value in his meetings. I think that's why people come.
I show up like half hour before and just start literally. Sometimes it's hard because people show up early too. And I'm just sitting in front of the whiteboard that I write on.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll have an idea and I'll write it. Okay, I'll talk about that. And I'll have another idea. Then it's hard though because people come in and they want to start BSing. I'm like, oh man, hold on, let me get some topics together. That's why it's good when it's interactive too. When people contribute, it helps.
That's a big key to me. I think in any environment is to get free flow of ideas exchanged,
A
the
good
dialogue.
conversation,
Yeah,
yeah.
like really bringing people's, successes, challenges, getting people to ask authentic questions about what they're struggling with, like really like the true, not the facade based questions, like the real, hey, I don't really know if I even want to admit that I'm having this issue. When you get that type of environment where people will ask those things, you can really add a tremendous amount of value to that.
Yeah,
solve real world problems for them.
Yeah, everybody, if you can get over being embarrassed about stuff.
That's back to being authentic.
I'm not going to be on my deathbed, hopefully a long time from now, worried about when someone thought about me at a podcast I did on a Friday in Roseville. I promise it won't be one of the last thoughts. So if you just live your life that way, what do you got to be worried about?
Yeah.
Everyone's fallen. Everyone's blown money. Everyone's made a bad decision. Why do you got to feel so weird about it? That's honestly, a lot of that stuff is what disgusts me about real estate. The fakeness, the facade, the Range Rover, the videos, the cleavage, the butt cheeks, like all of it. I'm like, what are you guys
just the
doing?
guys. That's what's crazy.
Well, are you like pictures with coffee? All of it. It's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I couldn't agree more. And
The selling sunset, if you will.
I will tell
Of
you,
it.
virtually exhausted at times with the repetitiveness. And I say this all the time. My kids love to give me a hard time about how much I repeat myself. And I'm like, that's how life goes. Like, you have to repeat something over and over and over for most people before they pick it up. But what you just said about the facade and being ashamed, like the whole focus of getting people to get away from being afraid of being, what people think when they do videos or they do social media. That's been one of the huge challenges that has stood in the way of so many real estate and mortgage professionals is
100%.
them worrying about the one or two negative thoughts that someone might have about something they post, as if that has any bearing on the reason they should be doing it. But I understand the psychology of why people worry about it. It's just helping them get over the hump of not thinking about it and just do what you do. Like, I don't know how many times we talk about it and how many times someone who comes in and records videos looks at their videos and all they can do is see everything wrong with it. I just had a conversation yesterday with somebody and they were critiquing a post they were about to go. And I'm like, it's amazing. If you spend one more minute on that, you are wasting your time on something that no one else is going to see.
I don't care. You take a picture. Oh, do you want to see it? Don't care. Post it.
I don't even watch my own. I actually have zero desire. I watch everyone else's because I assume if everyone else's looks all right, I will probably critique mine way differently than everybody else's. So just post it.
Yeah.
Just go.
Just do it. The other thing too, I think in real estate, a lot of people make the mistake of is focusing on advertising themselves as luxury. I do a ton of luxury, and unless it's a joke, most of the time you're not going to see me posting stuff like that. I'm a seller of homes. I help people. You need your help selling your mom's $60,000 mobile home? I'm your guy.
Yeah.
You want to sell a $6 million property?
I'm your guy.
Which I have coming up in Loomis. Custom in Loomis. I'm your guy.
Title.
You know what I mean? And you're going to get the same level of service. So I think too many times, luxury this, luxury that. Luxury properties cost a lot more to sell. They take a lot more time to sell.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. Just focus on what's down the street from your house and your dad's house, whatever. $700,000 homes, give me those all day long because I'll sell 5 of those in the time it takes me to sell this one for 3. So I think that's the other big mistake.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to look a certain way. I did a whole meeting on that a couple of years ago, all the selling sunsets and those different things because they're California. So my wife had it on one day. I go, hold on. And I got the thing and I had her give me the names and DRE numbers. And so I was looking up their productions. 0. Some of them 0 homes sold in 12 months or 1 home sold in 12 months, maybe 3. It's all a facade.
Yes.
But so many people, especially new gals I see, they get down on themselves because they're not doing that. They're not doing it either,
100%.
So take it easy. Yeah. It's
At that
all
point, the
shell
reality
game.
TV stars, technically.
It's all a shell game of BS and Louis Vuitton and, Birkins. It's not real.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they're like, take it easy on yourself. It takes time. Just study. Get better.
Absolutely.
Discipline, consistent activity, doing the right things, building relationships, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
The formula's there. And then you want to make money? Do open houses.
Yeah.
Nothing's better for real estate. Anytime you can be belly to belly with someone wanting to do business, I crush open houses when I do them. Now I try to let everybody on my team do it because I feel like if I'm the chief of our tribe, let's say, I want to make sure my village eats.
Yep.
But when the village doesn't want to eat, I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
and
I'll go
agents
do it.
really need to learn how to do
I'll go do
open
it.
houses.
I'm like, guess how much I made last week?
Yeah.
going back. I think it's one of those things that finding the balance in the messaging is what makes what you're doing and what you're describing so important, because there is such a need and a push, right, from an efficiency perspective and an engagement perspective to have social media and have a presence and reach, because that's where our world is. But back at its core, you can't lose track of the fact that actually in the end it's humans helping humans, right? It's that connection. And I want someone who is going to be accountable to my experience. And I think a lot of people get lost in the sales pitch within the industry. They get lost within that, just like you described. What's your, when you bring somebody new and you sit them down, what's the way you would tell them to get started in the business, if they, as opposed to some of the things you just described?
I would definitely say, get your business cards ordered up. I got a buddy that he's pretty much out of the industry now, but he waited months before he finalized the design on his business card. Whereas I'm like, just Aaron Ralls, make sure you spell it right. Throw my phone number, DRE. I don't really care, So that, and then start educating yourself on the industry. EXP alone has 50 hours of live training every single week by top producing agents throughout the country. And I guarantee even the people I work with, I've got 170 people on my team. I'll bet you not even 5 are in there consistently. But I am.
There's always something that's going to spark something new for you.
Yeah.
There's always something. I always encourage our
You've
team
got
to do the
top
same thing.
people in the nation teaching you.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to learn that. I don't need to learn how to make, X amount. My income goal for real estate is $100,000 per month.
Yeah.
How am I going to do that watching BS TV and trash? I've got to get better, sharper, smarter, because I don't want to work forever.
Right.
And I want to be able to take care of my mom and my dad and my kids,
For sure, man. Absolutely.
Oh, and then I would say get into open houses, because nothing's going to convert. Nothing's better than open houses. Nothing for real estate. And I hear people, even top agents, say, open houses are just to get more clients for yourself. That's if you go into it with no integrity. Mm-hmm. When I do an open house, my main job, if you're paying me to sell your home and I'm going to stand and make 20 grand, any clients I get out of it is way down the line compared to me selling that home for Julie, because that's what I was paid to do.
Yeah.
And I have the integrity to go in there with that. Now, these other agents that go in there just trying to get other people and get them, everybody to sign in and this and that. I don't have anybody sign in. My conversion rate's crazy. You don't have them sign in? You don't bring an iPad? No, none of that shit. Stuff.
Yeah.
None of that. Because I want people just to hit it off. Whenever I interact, I want you to leave there thinking, I could picture myself grabbing a beer with that dude or grabbing a cigar. That guy was cool. He wasn't like these other 3 open houses we went out where they go, for the client's security, they ask that you sign in. All lies. Just so they can get your stuff. I'm always like, yeah, man. And I'll show everybody. By the way, we do have about 80 something off market properties within my team now. So I'll just be like, hey, Justin, if you're looking for anything specific, I'll do it to where they don't see the street names, but they'll see the cities. Look, it looks like we have 18 coming up in Folsom. Here's my info, man. I'm not going to call you and bug you, but if you want to see these homes before they hit the market, shoot me a text. My wife and I are both full-time agents, 7 days a week. That converts like crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it's not salesy. It's real low-key. Just like my wife goes, I hate when you give that example. But if I wanted to ask a woman out, hey, I think you are absolutely beautiful. I would love the opportunity to get to know you better. Here's my card. If you're not dating anybody, I'd love the opportunity to take you out to a nice dinner or coffee. That's way different than some sleazy guy coming up trying to get you to put his number. You know what I mean?
Digits.
Yeah, put your number on his phone or something. It's just like, it's kind of like, you got to be smooth. You know?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be overly like creepy and sign here and do this.
got to have that Riz like my kids.
The
you know?
Riz.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't have any more Riz, but I can connect with people and help them. You know,
That's Riz, my man.
my daughter here, she'd be like, he does not have
Riz.
Riz.
I was just gonna
No,
say
my
my
daughter
14-year-old daughter would say the same thing. She makes fun of me constantly. There's a meme I see all the time with that I send to her, and it's a couple different actors like the Scarecrow guy from Batman sitting there just staring off into space and go, when your kids that depend on you for everything constantly tell you don't know anything.
Yeah.
Just that that's my life.
I'd always tell my kids, I'm way cooler than you guys. So I have two boys and a daughter. I'm way cooler than you guys. Like, if you have to say you're cool, you're not cool.
Oh man, you guys got me.
I have a question for you, kind of off topic. All the consolidations going on with Compass and then now with Real and Remax. I kind of want to get your thoughts on that, and then maybe why EXP. It's a big question, but
so for years I called that Keller Williams is going to be gone. I called the Folsom location closing. That happened. Fair Oaks recently closed. The one in El Dorado Hills is for sale. KW, as we know it, is going to be gone. I'm a firm believer in that. It's happening. When I first got into real estate, they were the Goliaths. I mean, everything was KW.
Yeah.
And not anymore. Remax, I knew was going out of business. I was also saying that. I'm surprised some of the other ones are still around. I think it's genius for
Real.
I don't know if it's genius for Real. Remax around here doesn't do a lot of business, but on a nationwide level, they do a ton.
Yep.
Around here, they're almost non-existent. I can't tell you the last time I was in a deal with one. But for those that are with Remax, it's good for them. It's better for them that happened.
And the tech heavy piece of
Yeah,
it too, I think
that's-
plays.
100%.
I mean, when I think Remax, I think older ladies. I think older guys in oversized suits. Same with Century 21. Same with Coldwell Banker. It's not what it was. But when I think Sotheby's, I think classy.
100%.
And I
elegant.
think a lot of that's because of Nick Sadik, Matthew Handy. I think classy. Now, I know people don't think that when they see me. But that's what I think. Like, if EXP, I think fun. I think a lot of business. I've been with them now. You asked why EXP. I was at another brokerage before where I had a competing broker who was offering 1% listings, like literally competing in the office, and didn't know a whole lot. So I became the top agent in the office in the first year, and just realized I would always do what any other broker would probably love, which is I would prepay my cap for the year. So I would give my broker a check at the beginning of the year, not knowing if I was going to sell a home or not, because it motivated me.
Oh,
drove
wow.
me,
That's
you know?
great.
So Justin Padilla would call and tell me about EXP. I was like, dude, stop calling me. I'm not leaving. It's fine how it's at, because I didn't understand. And then once I realized the model, I was like, oh, man. I mean, it cost me. This isn't an EXP pitch, but I'll just tell you my experience. After just a few years of being with EXP, I cashed out $333,000 in stock awards and paid off my Folsom home. The next big thing I did, I cashed out enough stocks to put in a pool in my backyard with a putting green, with a massive waterfall. And then the other time I cashed it out, I bought my wife a fully restored vintage Ford Bronco for our 25-year wedding anniversary. So that combined with I cap within our company within 30 days, and I'm keeping 100% of my pay, it's just a no-brainer. A no-brainer. I mean, do you ever track the percentage of deals that have EXP on one side or the other? Because the title people that I talk to say it's about 75% has EXP on one side or the other.
Huge growth. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yeah. So
Yes.
we do a lot of business, and a lot of it off market. And it's just
Right.
genuine collaboration. I'm speaking at Joey Satoriano's thing in Elk Grove next week, and it's just real giving. We all help each other, even though we're not all in everybody's downline. There's none of that. There's a lot of people that were at my meeting, number one, that aren't with that not only aren't with EXP, they're with other brokerages, but
I saw that.
some of them are there that aren't even in my downline within EXP, but it doesn't matter. Just love and help each other.
Right. And
So-
and Renee coming to your meetings and sharing. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Amazing.
it's just a very collaborative
Yeah.
win-win.
Even Brent Coe stopped by unannounced.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And you're like, too bad if you weren't here. And I was like, well, I'm here. I can
Yeah.
see Brent.
Why didn't you tell us Brent
Yeah,
was coming?
yeah.
You should be there anyway.
You should be at the meetings
Yeah.
anyway.
You only
100%.
closed 3 deals in the last 12 months. Why aren't you at the meeting?
Just show up.
You already got
Show up.
One of my buddies that hasn't been coming. I work corrections with him, and I called him the other day. I'm like, congrats, man. I go, you got it all figured out, huh, bud? He's like, what do you mean? Well, you haven't been in the last 4 meetings. You must have it all figured out. I'm still
Let me
I
know.
still go to every meeting I can. Like, I'm still trying to learn. So it's weird.
Yeah, growth mindset though, man. I
Yeah.
think it
Yeah.
is being open and recognizing that you don't know everything
Yeah.
is huge. And
Oh, dude.
because that's where the problem is. People are leading with that ego, like we talked about the selling sunset, and not recognizing like, hey, I need to learn. I need to learn.
What am I
every
gonna say?
single
I'm
day.
top 25. I got it all figured out. I don't know shit. Nick Sadik gives me an hour of his time. I'm notepad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
know, that's
right.
a OG right there. You
Yeah.
know, so my mom and one of my best friends, Jason, he's on my team also, but he's in Texas now, would always say, "When's enough?" You know, because my mom, she sees me working all the time, this and that. I don't know, Mom. When's that tree out there going to stop growing?
That's right.
Why would I say, if my potential is to make, just from a business standpoint, talking money, because number one, we need to talk about money. Most people don't. And I think that's very lacking in society in general. But I look at money like the modern day, if we were all cavemen and my job's to get meat and nuts and berries for my cave, that's all money is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, I like to buy cool stuff, but the main thing is shelter and food and providing for my family. So if I have the potential to make whatever, 100,000 a month, 200,000 a month, 50,000 a month, whatever it is, I need to try my best to reach that potential. And I don't think I've reached it yet. And I'm averaging 1 closing every week at this point. And I think that's going to double in the next year or 2.
Love it.
Yeah.
I do
just keep
think,
going.
and I think I've told you this before, I do think the top agents are really going to dominate in the next 3 years. I do.
I think the spread is going to be so
Yep.
insane. You know, it's going to be hard for the title reps. You're going to have to make sure you have some of those.
100%.
Oh, I was going to ask
No,
you this. Let me
100%.
ask you a question,
I
Julie.
like this.
Okay.
How long does it take you when you're talking to a new agent to know whether or not they're going to do it?
5 minutes.
Yeah. I've had some other title reps say 1.5 minutes. Scott Nordell said 1.5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, typically. And then if I want to take it further, I'll say, if you really want to work with me, then let's sit down and let's come up with a game plan. And then that's when I determine if I'm going to work with them, if they do execute on that game
If
plan.
they even reach out to you for the meeting.
Well, there's that. But, get your database in place, like check, the basic fundamentals. And
Basics.
if that's not done, I'm like, there's another title company, call them. Because, we're busy. And the time that we invest has to be with people that are like-minded. So I will work with people that want to work as hard as me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, but you're right. You can tell pretty much right away who's going to make it.
You guys,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys can.
100%.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think one of the things too is I think guarding access to your time is huge.
Oh, that's a
My
big
wife
topic.
is always on me about that. Yeah.
And it's hard because
people too much access.
well, and I think, but it also goes to it's your business model and it's who you are and it's what's provided success for you. But it's also understanding those people that aren't willing to help themselves or are limiting themselves.
That's a hard one.
It's fine. You have 100% access to me, but you don't have unlimited access, And it's like I was coaching one of our loan officers this week, and we were just talking, and I was like, "Man, you're doing so much. And you're providing so much value. It's fantastic." But you're also giving too much. You also have to guard some of that access. That way, these people, referral agents want to come to you, and you're not just giving everything away for free, and giving them a little taste and some limited access to you, not direct access, because it just feels as if I'm here for you, and not recognizing that, hey, I have something of value that actually is going to improve and impact your business. It's not me just going, hey, let me just keep throwing things at you to see what sticks. It's actually saying, hey, I am an expert in this. And to be honest with you, the gentleman that I'm talking about, he is an expert. This guy has like Ryan Lundquist level data that he's fantastic with, and he creates, but he just gives it all away for these agents. And most of the time, like we talked about, these agents don't
squander it,
and they don't understand it. And I said, dude, I think what you need to do is position yourself on I'm the expert in the data, but I want to make you an expert to make your business grow and flourish, you know? And he's like, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. And it's one of those things where it's like, hey, guarding some of that access and guarding that unlimited access on people that, for lack of better terms, don't deserve it, the unlimited access. Everyone, I believe, deserves access to us if our goal is to impact people, but it has to be knowing the right people and you know, finding your right tribe, if you will. Your vibe attracts your tribe.
It's got to be hard for lenders, title people to have to like go after agents.
It's weird. It's a weird thing.
So much. And I know agents are so cocky a lot of the times, you know.
See,
it's a different. Yeah, go ahead. Phil, you and I have
I
a very
strong
similar.
opinion. I mean, I spent 4 years inside the Coldwell Banker platform running the JV on the lending side, and I saw like all the different personality types of agents,
Sure.
and you know, I've always since that time looked at it and felt like on the lending side or any partner, you need to be magnetic and you need to have enough value that you're generating and contributing that you can attract the true professionals and not be forced to work with a lot of the non-professionals. And the non-professionals are the ones that care more about their commission and their paycheck than they do their client.
Yeah.
And they care more about
That's right.
what are you going to do for them. And they like the number of times that I would field phone calls where the only reason the agent was upset was about their commission, and when they were getting paid, it had nothing to do with the client. And it's like, the client actually wants it to close 3 days from now. You're mad because you want your check today. It has nothing to do with the client. You know, that component, and a big part of what we focus on now is you have to be running your own business to be a good partner with real estate agents. Like, it's not just a one-way street. You should be working in a two-way relationship where, like you said, you're out hunting all day, but on the lending side, you should be doing the same thing. And you really have, there's no excuse not to, if you want to work.
Let me provide the trailer of what you've been hunting that we can carry it back together, you know? And it's like, that's that.
And your database, I mean, a lot of times the lending relationship, you're going to have more conversations with that borrower in their lifespan on a regular basis if you're intentional about it because of the financial component. And so, you know, to me, the really smart partners figured out that it's not just a one-way referral relationship, it's a two-way. And you have to approach it like that. If you ask me, how many times a week do you get asked to go to coffee? How many times a week do you get a phone call? Hey, can you come
every
get 15
week.
to
Every
the degree?
Week. But you know what never happens? Hey, Aaron, I have a referral for you. I'd love to earn your business.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I'm here to listen.
That'd be nice.
You know exactly right.
Okay, so
Free
that
at
right
12
there,
o'clock.
huge call out. And that's how I got all my top agents. Haven't got you because I haven't given you a referral.
Yeah. And
But it's coming.
And then people say, well, what do I got to do to get your business?
Yeah.
Well, here's some things that I'm focused on. I'm focused on growing my organization within EXP because the revenue share platform has changed my life. We don't talk about that here, but I'll explain it off air if you guys want to hear about it. But that's amazing. So I'm always looking to help people. If they're not happy where they're at, I can bring them on and I'll give them a free office. Awesome office, right? You guys should stop
Great
by.
office.
By there anytime.
Yeah.
Every other Wednesday, 10 a.m. So pretty office, free. I pay for it. We have cigars in there. We play pool. We got foosball now. So it's maybe more man cave, a little less office, but
That's all right.
but it works good. So that, and then obviously any sort of referrals for real estate.
Yeah.
And hopefully, and this happens once I've proven myself with people, I really am a good dude. I'm not going to do anything shit. You could send me your grandma and your grandma's going to love me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my client, I just sold her house. It was the second transaction I did for her and her husband, Phil, Kathy. Cold call off a sign on a property I had listed in rescue. Sweetheart. He's retired police officer. She was a big wig in tech with carbon fiber and stuff. And I just sold their house. She was crying when she hugged me because she knew she'd probably never see me again because they moved to Monterey. You know, it was awesome.
great
That's
story.
what,
Yeah. So, and then today, my other client, we didn't talk about this on air yet, right?
No.
She lives out this way, and I sold their house. She's super sweet. Her and her husband's cool. I used to work with him at corrections. They got me 2 really nice high-end cigars. I'm really into cigars. Got me 2 nice high-end cigars. She met me in the parking lot as a thank you for selling their house.
So great.
How cool is that?
That's the coolest.
So
Yeah.
I try to do it like that, to where you go, or if you guys know someone over at a brokerage and they're not happy, like, oh, I got to make a change. You go, you know what? You should talk to Aaron before you do anything.
Yeah.
100%, man.
And by the way, even if they don't end up joining with what I've got going on, they still have an open invite to whatever I do. I don't care. You know, everybody, come on, come all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Can I selfishly, can we have a detour or a cigar convo real quick?
Oh,
we'll keep it short because this isn't the cigar podcast, but
about to be.
Can we smoke in here? I know, right? We'll get one of those rabbits, the air purifiers. We'll be good, dude.
That's what I have in my office.
Exactly. What got you into cigars?
I was down at Napa on a wine tasting thing with another couple, and my buddy, I got into him when I was 48, and I'm 51 now.
Yeah.
My buddy tried to get me to have one in a Napa cigar lounge, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
That's not my thing, yeah.
I was just nervous. I don't know what to do, how to do it. I never smoked anything, didn't like any of that. And I tried the one, and then just found myself in other situations, and then it's like, you know, started doing research because I try to stay healthy also. And my buddy's a surgeon. He goes, dude, cigars are fine. He smokes cigars with me because we're not inhaling it. It's all natural. There's no added chemicals.
Nothing.
So the nicotine actually now they're finding amazing. A lot of athletes actually using nicotine patches stuff, finding amazing benefits to nicotine for the brain and everything else. So I'm
I have nicotine in right now.
Yeah. So I'm like,
good. I feel you.
So I'm like, all right. And then the amount of people I've met and high net worth individuals and business owners,
it does.
The conversations we've had around cigars is amazing. You go to a cigar lounge. My buddy owns Cigar City Lounge in Folsom, and you know I'm not the richest guy in town by any means, but I'll be having a cigar with a guy that I know is wearing a $250,000 watch.
Yeah,
you know, because a good cigar is sometimes $25 to $100.
Absolutely,
at a cigar lounge. So it's pretty cool and real good for conversation. You're not drinking or it's not. Chaotic.
No, it's funny. You touched on what I was hoping you would, and I was going to lead into it. Is I think it's funny because a lot of people don't recognize how much their conversation starters and the conversations had with it. And I've had some of the best conversations over cigars.
It's like a level playing ground. You're in a cigar lounge.
Yep.
Construction worker.
Yep.
Tech guy, whatever.
Do women go?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we host. We just picked the date. You know Adrian Blanco.
Yeah.
Adrian, Albert, me, my buddy Brendan that owns CertaPro, Eric Suit, Cigar City
know all
Lounge.
those guys, yeah.
We do these business mixers quarterly. The last one at the Cigar Lounge, we had 240 people.
When's the next one?
June 4th, I believe. I have the flyer on my phone. You guys
I
are all
will
invited.
go June 4th.
It's
my
amazing.
First cigar
240
okay.
people at the last one. Started off at 75, then it was about 140. Now we're at 240.
Yeah.
For a business mixer. And I'm talking, it's a real business mixer. There's, a lot of business owners there and great conversations all centered around business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a great, fun time.
We'll have to go together, Justin.
I love it. It's my favorite thing. I have to tell a quick story just because it's funny and it's unique. Is I started my sales career working for Nordstrom, and that was Arden Fair Mall. And you get tired of walking around the mall. Well, at that time, the Briar Patch was in there, which was a great cigar store.
Yeah, they sold straight razors and stuff too.
Everything.
Right? Yeah.
So it was so cool, dude. It was it was that entry into the old world kind of, that gentleman.
Yeah, that's what I like about cigars
lounge.
also. It's
well,
old
same
school.
thing, and it leads to the barber, and it's just an old world tradition that hasn't stuck around truly, but for a few that keep it alive and love it. But that's how I started. I started smoking cigars on a lunch break with these guys in there, and these guys are all suited and booted, and I'm learning about straight razors. I'm learning about pipes and cigar, and then you learn, and it was just a different world. But man, before you know it, you got a cigar and you're like, well, I don't know. Talk to me. I don't know how to raise kids. What do you think about? And you're having these deep
conversations,
intimate conversations with people. I know you're like, and there's no barrier of entry, because the barrier of entry is you're smoking a cigar. We're there.
And even if you're new to it, anybody around will help you or explain things
because they love it.
Because a lot of the premium cigars that we smoke, sometimes 300 hands have handled that cigar by the time it's harvested, planted, cured, rolled, everything. It's a lot to it.
It's a lot to it.
It's an art.
It is an art. Yeah.
So the more you learn about it, I think kind of makes you love it more too.
Yeah. It's one of those things, and of course, you learn really early on. You don't mash that cigar down because of the 300 hands that have touched it. Out of respect, you
Did you
set
see the
it
video
aside.
I did on that?
No.
I have a video on my Instagram about
We'll have
that.
to do a TikTok on
when
it,
you're
Aaron.
done with a
I'm
when you're done
serious.
with a cigar, you don't put it out. It's not like a cigarette.
Yeah.
Out of respect for those that rolled it and grew it, because sometimes it's been aged 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
You just allow it to go out to die a peaceful
Die
death.
peaceful. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, you're touching on some of my favorite stuff, which is why, I was like, we need a little detour
Yeah,
on
that's
this.
awesome.
We
You should go
I'm
check it
going
out.
to go June 4th.
But you can go anytime. Like we're there
Oh.
all the time. If you ever want to go check it out, I work out of there more than I do my office.
Wow.
And my wife's always like, "You're always just bullshitting, smoking cigars." Like,
And is there
and
like
yet we
food
closed
and
another
drink?
deal.
Is there food and drink or just cigars?
He's got stuff in the back, and we have private lockers, so we have
okay.
we have drinks and stuff there, and then there's a bar right next to it, so we can bring stuff from the bar.
There's a
over
great
and
coffee
stuff.
shop right next to it. My
Oh
favorite
yeah,
coffee
Kingdom
shop.
Coffee.
Favorite coffee shop in Sacramento is Kingdom
Yeah.
Coffee. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep,
Okay.
Ty.
You have my word. I'll be there June
Let's go.
4th.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, there's whole women's like clubs and groups and
That smoke cigars in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Not,
that's so
I don't know
cool.
about in there, but
Oh,
all
yeah.
over. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a big thing.
Very cool.
Love it. Well, we are reaching towards the end of our time here, so you got a social media tip of the week for us?
I do. I think that you need to focus on solution videos. So somewhere in the video has to be a solution to a problem. And if you do that, you'll have more traction. You will get more followers because you're bringing value, but it needs to be a solution. So think of a problem, address that at the beginning. For instance, do you have crepey skin? That's a negative because most people can identify with that. So it has to come right out of the beginning. What's the problem and what's the solution? Keep it under 30 seconds, and that's how you get the most traction.
I now know how to tie my sweatshirts.
You
Thanks
do.
to you.
You know how many compliments I got on that?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Yes. There's a lot of, just providing value, but always concentrating on a problem to solve. Yep.
Love it.
Tip of the week.
That's
I love
solving problems in general. Social media no different than human connection. Aaron, man, we really appreciate you being here today.
Great to be here.
Yeah.
Dude,
been-
loved having you. Thank
Great
you.
guest.
Thanks for
This
doing it.
is it's been a treat. It's been fun, and I love just the authentic interpersonal approach that you take to running the business, and I think that for the audience watching, I hope that the absorption of the recognition of giving that value and just being focused on helping others
Yeah.
has so much more of a return than people put on place. We talk about abundance versus scarcity, but part of
Financial
that,
return, spiritual return, everything. Just be a good person, help each other.
that's a novel idea, right? Be a good person. Like that's
Pretty.
Unfortunately, it's rare.
The
It's a
formula's
novel
pretty
idea.
easy. You know what I mean?
The
Yeah.
execution is what's
They
hard.
literally wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
It's called the Bible. Just help each other and be nice.
Yeah.
Don't be a scumbag.
That's,
And everybody
there's words.
wins.
Don't be a scumbag. That's the success key. I
Yeah.
love it. I
Put
love
that
it.
on my card.
Right? You've been up close and personal with people who didn't follow that. So,
Yeah.
well, we really appreciate it. Any final comments, Justin?
No, man, thanks for being here. Just
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me. Any way I can contribute, or if you guys ever want another location, you want to do it at my office, you guys can have it.
You have a great office.
Anything.
We'd love it. Yeah.
It overlooks the
Absolutely.
river.
Yeah, it's a great office.
Or you ever want to do an event, you want to host something
Yeah.
there, you guys can have it. I let people use it all the time. I don't care.
Well,
It's got a door code. You just key yourself
that
in.
sounds fantastic because I know we got a bunch of stuff planned. So,
Yeah.
well, we are very grateful. I know the audience will enjoy it, and thanks again, man. Yeah, trust me. Anybody that talks that isn't me, I know is a lift. So, but as always, Julie, and your social media tips are a hit. And so, with that, thank you to all three of you. That's the end of another episode of the Blitz Break. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday and your weekend. I'm your host, Phil Rasmussen. Check us out, as always, on YouTube and all the podcast platforms, as well as our social media channels. And we'll see you next week.
See you later.